Blending Jung's psychological insights with Stoic wisdom gives us a clearer understanding of human behaviour. It helps us approach relationships with both awareness and empathy, allowing us to detect hidden struggles in those around us and respond with wisdom rather than resentment. Betrayal rarely happens suddenly, it unfolds gradually, like a storm forming on the horizon. At first the changes may be subtle, barely noticeable, but with careful observation, patterns emerge. Recognizing these early warning signs is crucial, yet it requires a heightened sense of awareness, something both psychology and Stoicism emphasize. Jung's theory of the shadow self is especially useful here. He believed that suppressed aspects of our personality don't simply vanish, they manifest in other, often destructive ways. When someone feels threatened by their own repressed emotions or unacknowledged conflicts, their behaviour toward others may start to shift, at first subtly, then more obviously over time. Stoicism, with its focus on self-awareness and emotional discipline, encourages us to observe not just our own reactions, but also the actions and temperaments of those around us. Seneca advised paying close attention to the character and demeanour of those we associate with, as this can help us distinguish true allies from those who may secretly harbour resentment or ill will. The signs of betrayal are often small at first. A once open friend becoming secretive, a shift in tone, less warmth, more distance, light-hearted jokes that start to carry an edge of hostility. These subtle cues often precede more obvious acts of betrayal, revealing internal struggles long before they manifest as outright disloyalty. However, recognizing these signals isn't about becoming paranoid or distrustful. From a Stoic perspective, it's about preparing ourselves to respond with wisdom and composure. Understanding human nature, both its strengths and its flaws, allows us to navigate relationships with greater resilience, ensuring that we remain steady no matter what comes our way. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of understanding the nature of those around us, recognizing that people act according to their character. By anticipating potential betrayals before they unfold, we can shield ourselves from their harshest effects without succumbing to anger or resentment. Detecting betrayal isn't about becoming distrustful, it's about deepening our insight into human nature and refining our ability to read people more clearly. The key lies in cultivating an approach to relationships that is both open and discerning, where trust is balanced by the wisdom of experience. As we explore practical ways to navigate and recover from betrayal, remember that the goal isn't to build walls against others, but to strengthen our inner resilience. This allows us to face life's challenges with grace and composure, rather than bitterness. Betrayal wounds us so deeply because it strikes at the very core of trust and expectation in relationships. Unlike ordinary disappointments, betrayals occur in the spaces where we've invested significant emotional energy, making them feel deeply personal and often devastating. This emotional investment explains why betrayal cuts so sharply. When we form close bonds, whether with friends, partners, or colleagues, we don't just share experiences, we share parts of ourselves. Our thoughts, feelings, and aspirations become intertwined with these connections. Carl Jung suggested that in relationships, we project elements of our own psyche onto others, seeing in them not just another person, but an extension of our ideals and even of ourselves. When betrayal occurs, it's not just a breach of trust. It feels like a rejection of something deeply personal, as if a part of us has been denied or attacked. Understanding this dynamic helps us process betrayal with greater clarity. It's not just about what someone did to us, it's also about what the relationship meant to us. By recognizing this, we gain the ability to heal and move forward without letting the pain define us. Stoicism provides a powerful perspective on emotional investment, one that can be both grounding and enlightening. Thinkers like Epictetus emphasize that while forming connections and cultivating relationships is important, our emotional well-being should never be entirely dependent on others. The Stoic philosophy divides life into two categories: what is within our control and what's not. The actions and emotions of others clearly fall into the latter. By acknowledging this reality and mentally preparing for the possibility that even those we trust most may one day disappoint us, we can safeguard our inner peace. However, adopting this mindset does not mean becoming cold or detached. Instead, it fosters a form of emotional resilience, one that allows us to care deeply while still remaining anchored in our own rational and moral framework. This balance enables us to experience meaningful relationships without being completely shattered if they take an unexpected turn. Understanding the weight of emotional investment in our reactions to betrayal helps us navigate these painful experiences with grace and wisdom. Our pain is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our capacity for deep connection. Recognizing this allows us to heal by reassessing our boundaries and expectations, ultimately emerging with a stronger sense of self and a clearer understanding of what truly matters in our relationships. As we move forward, we will explore practical steps to not only anticipate betrayal, but also handle it effectively. By blending psychological insights with Stoic principles, we can develop a healthier, more resilient approach to relationships, one that transforms potential bitterness into wisdom. This journey isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about growing through our experiences, deepening our understanding of human nature, and strengthening our emotional foundations. Successfully navigating relationships requires both awareness and emotional preparedness. Protecting ourselves from betrayal isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about fostering a deeper understanding of others while preserving our inner peace. Let's examine some key strategies to recognize early signs of betrayal and shield ourselves from its most damaging effects. First, awareness is essential. This means paying close attention to subtle shifts in people's behaviors and attitudes toward us. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self is particularly relevant here. It suggests that unaddressed internal conflicts often manifest in external actions, sometimes taking the form of betrayal. For instance, if someone who once communicated openly begins to withdraw or act secretively, this may signal an internal struggle or a shift in their feelings toward you. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius urged vigilance in social interactions, advising that we not only listen to people's words, but also observe their actions. Stoicism encourages us to assess the true nature of our relationships and adjust our expectations accordingly. If someone's words and behaviors don't align, or if we notice recurring patterns of dishonesty, manipulation, or hidden resentment, it may be time to reconsider the trust we place in them. Another essential step is setting and enforcing personal boundaries. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes particularly empowering. Epictetus emphasized focusing on what we can control, and one thing we can always control is how we define and uphold our boundaries. Clearly, establishing what is acceptable and what is not in our interactions makes it harder for others to disrupt our peace of mind. Boundaries also serve as a filter, allowing us to discern who respects us and who does not. By integrating Stoic wisdom with psychological insights, we develop a mindset that is both open and resilient. This approach allows us to engage deeply in relationships while remaining prepared for the unpredictability of human nature. Instead of living in fear of betrayal, we learn to face it with understanding, strength, and emotional stability. Boundaries serve as a powerful tool for revealing the true nature of those around us. When we establish clear limits, we can observe who respects them and who resists, providing valuable insight into their intentions. In addition to boundaries, open and honest communication plays a crucial role in preventing potential betrayals. Addressing concerns directly, when appropriate, can clear up misunderstandings and send a clear message that we are aware and attentive to the dynamics at play. However, this doesn't mean confronting every minor shift in behaviour. Rather, it's about choosing the right moments to speak up when something significant seems to be unfolding. Another essential strategy is cultivating a strong and diverse support network. When we spread our emotional investment across multiple relationships, we create a buffer against the impact of any single relationship going awry. The Stoics emphasize the importance of meaningful connections while also reminding us to maintain a sense of inner stability, one that isn't entirely dependent on external relationships for happiness and self-worth. Striking this balance allows us to engage deeply with others while preserving our own emotional resilience. By incorporating these practices into our daily lives, we not only protect ourselves from betrayal, but also enrich our interactions with greater mindfulness and intention. This approach is about being proactive rather than reactive, shaping our relationships with wisdom, rather than simply responding to circumstances as they arise